Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about weeks 7 through 9 of the journey to my first powerlifting competition, March 28th in San Diego, California. I am now less than 1 week away from the competition. The last few weeks, I have been moving into weeks 10 and 11 of my training program, but today I'm talking about weeks 7 through 9. So weeks 10 and 11 have started to taper, have been more maintenance focused. Weeks 7 through 9 were very, very intense. I was really starting to feel it. I was really starting to feel my body fatiguing. And so I'll go through why that is, what exercises I was doing, the reps and sets, the changes in the intensity that really built up my strength over weeks 7 through 9. So first I'll talk about my overall progression for 9 weeks of training, and then how much I progressed on the 3 main lifts, the bench press, the deadlift, and the squat in weeks 7 and 9. So my repped bench, and these remember are repped numbers, so not my 1 rep maxes, but what I was able to continuously lift for, it was 4 to sometimes 9 sets of each of these exercises in weeks 7 through 9. So my repped bench has increased by 35 pounds over 9 weeks and actually stayed about the same between week 7 and 9. However, in the last 2 maintenance weeks, I actually have been able to increase my repped bench by 10 more pounds. So for a total of 45 pounds of increase over 9 weeks. And there were 2 bench press variations featured in weeks 7 through 9, which I'll get to in a bit here, that I think really helped me add those 10 pounds in the last 2 weeks. So despite that stall, then my deadlift increased by 90 pounds over 9 weeks and 15 pounds through weeks 7 through 9. And then my squat increased by 60 pounds over 9 weeks and 20 pounds through weeks 7 and 9. Interestingly, beginning of this program, I really was struggling with the squat. It was my least favorite exercise, and it's actually grown to be maybe not my favorite, but I'm feeling just a lot better through my squats, and I'm not dreading them nearly as much. Weeks 7 through 9 featured a similar format as weeks 4 through 6, but with much more aggressive changes in sets and reps. Week 8 really peaked with a ton of reps and sets at really high intensity, simultaneously challenging both my power and hypertrophy practice. Week 8 on the lift respective training days ended up with a total of 8 sets of squats, 9 sets of bench press, and 7 sets of deadlift. As I discussed in my week 4 through 6 video, the point here, it was to start with 2 to 3 true power sets where it was very high weight, above 80% intensity, and only about 2 to 4, or honestly even 2 to 3 reps per set. And then it would drop down for the rest of the sets to somewhere between 70 and 75% intensity. And then the reps would be up to 4 to 6 reps. The point of the combination of very high intensity, few rep sets, and then followed up by 4 to 6 sets of lower intensity, higher rep sets was to first challenge the true power movements and then push it out by still practicing the power lifting competition form, to practice my endurance on those 3 lifts. So the list of lifts per day for the 4 training days for weeks 7 through 9 can be found in the description below. But today I really wanted to focus on the 2 bench press variations that I think really helped improve my bench press total strength in the last 2 weeks. So first, it was a close grip bench press, so your elbows stay in, your hands are a little bit more narrow. And this was really helpful because it trained my elbows to stay in. Because in the traditional bench press, your hands are a little wider. However, as you push up, you really want to think about pulling the elbows in, keeping them about 30 or 40 degrees off the rib cage. In this position, you can engage the most of your chest, your triceps, and your deltoids to push through the movement. If your elbows are all the way out here, or if your elbows are all the way in here, the muscles are in a fully stretched or fully shortened position, and then you can't use all those muscles to their full potential. So you really want to keep the elbows about 30 to 40 degrees off the rib cage in a standard bench press. The other movement that I think really helped was a banded bench press. So you can see here, the band is attached to both sides of the barbell. And then this creates more tension through the end range of the move, really challenging my endurance to push through the entire press. And I think these two movements really helped me add that last 10 pounds on my bench press in the last 2 weeks, even though my bench press numbers were slightly stalled through weeks 7 through 9. So stay tuned for this upcoming week. I will film my countdown to my powerlifting competition. I'm going to post a video showing what competition check-in is like, what the day is like. I'll film as much as I can and give you guys a full recap of the competition day. So stay tuned. Please subscribe, follow me and Tom on Instagram, and visit my website if you are interested in training with me and growing your total strength as well.